we're ending October and starting November for Nigeria with a raft of positive news. And one of it is the Purchasing Managers Index from FBN Quest for October. The reading came in this morning really strong, very hot, 64.8 reading against 58.1 reading in the month of September. And the analyst, this economist at FBN Quest says this is the second highest reading since this PMI index was launched in April 2013. And that's good. Why? Because there's increase in consumer confidence. It says it's a very healthy reading to a boost in consumer confidence. And, of course, the seasonal effects of the coming festivities. Then, of course, the central bank FX policy that everyone's been saying thank you to the central bank for boosting FX liquidity. And, of course, the country's import-hungry manufacturing sector. So we've got a PMI in today, and before the end of the day, we should be getting the central bank's much broader basket of the Purchasing Managers Index and the non-PMI reading for the services sector. All that we expect to get in today, the 1st of November. And, of course, the first Federal Executive Cabinet meeting should be holding today. Of course, there's a lot to celebrate. When you get the video of that, we'll see how President Buhari will be handshaking and back-slapping his cabinet for delivering the World Bank Global Doing Business ranking. He gave them 20 points to achieve. The team achieved 24. So Nigeria is now one of the top 10 reforming economies in the world. We have a clearance on the EFDB loan, and oil prices is very sweet. $61.70 early this morning. In case you missed that news, get there and you got it. Let's take all of this economic news to the marketplace and see how we can trade it or how you can invest in this positive economic news cycle. The man here is Bola Hoina, who is the head of investment at Quadros Capital. Good morning.
Good morning, boss.
And we all love good news.
Definitely.
Well, not unlike in the media or in the press where they said bad news sell newspapers and things like that. But investors want good news, and it looks like it's raining left, right, and center.
Yeah, definitely. So, like you said, I love good news, you love good news. That's what drives the market. Market drives on information. And like you were alluding earlier on, the report of the World Bank on ease of doing business, where Nigeria ranking improved significantly, I think that's also going to filter into the market. So if we look at what has happened in the market, backtrack, I think one of the main reasons why we saw a lot of outflow in the market was because, one, the recession story, one, because the exchange rate was not stable. And of course, if things start to take shape, obviously that's going to affect the market positively. So for the ease of doing business, I think it's going to affect the FX inflow significantly. And of course, that's going to contribute to the stability we've seen in the exchange rates. For the banks as well, I think there's going to be a positive effect with the banks as well, because they are the ones that really give access to credit. So overall, I think it's positive for the market. So in terms of how people perceive the market, it is positive. And I think going forward, I think some companies might benefit from it.
And how they perceive investments into Nigeria. Bob Diamond, the CEO of Atlas Mara, was on Bloomberg at about 6 o'clock Nigerian time early today, and he was talking about why he is bullish on Nigeria, why he's in financial services group is investing more in Nigeria via Union Bank, and for the public offer, the rights offer that was concluded 2 days ago. So you mentioned agriculture, and he talked about the revival of how to revive the economy. You think all these stories coming from international investors talking positively about Nigeria is something that not just foreign investors, but local investors, retail investors, you and I, the man on the street, can take to either the fixed income market or the equities market or the unlisted securities market to say, look, I have confidence in this economy, I have confidence in the market.
Well, yes, why there's confidence in the market, why the economic is recovering progressively, I must say, I think for investors, they need to understand the objectives. So every investor does not have the same objective. They also need to time the market effectively. So what this has done is broad-based. In terms of investor sentiment, it has improved significantly. And really, that's risk aversion within the market.
Is that what investors are telling you? You are the head of investments at Quadros Capital. So what are they telling you?
Yeah, so they are happy about the Nigerian story. Of course, every foreigner is happy, like you said. Nigeria is an interesting story in terms of consumer spending, in terms of the emerging middle class. So Nigeria is interesting. But for investors, they needed comfort, and that comfort is resuming. So comfort, attractive yield, really the equation is balance.
If you look at this latest PMI as well, the manufacturing data, I'm sure I'm going to show you're going to pour over this as well. And of course, maybe perhaps later today, maybe tomorrow, the central bank should be giving us the bigger, broader basket of its own PMI. We've had this consistency, and do you think this is serious good news? 64.8 from 58.1. That's almost how many basis points?
Well, about 200 basis points.
Almost 200 basis points.
Yeah, so that's interesting, and more or less mirrors what we've seen with the central bank's purchasing managers index. So for like 5 consecutive months, it's been over 50, and that means the manufacturing sector is recovering, and really is pretty much obvious. Like you said, for the manufacturing sector, one of the major issues they had last year was exchange rates. So that has pretty much been solved. Maybe not totally resolved, but in terms of getting access to exchange rates, that has been resolved to a great deal. In terms of the numbers we've seen as well, for some of them, they had issues with finance charges, with interest on foreign loans. That didn't play a major part in their earnings that we saw this season. So really, I think for the manufacturing, while I won't say it's on a roller coaster, I think things are improving. I think things are better. And we also saw that in the GDP figures that we saw earlier on.
Where should if you look at asset classes, then if you look at equities as an asset class, where do you think I should make investments regarding this ease of doing business? What sectors of the market do you think will be the first to leverage this positive World Bank latest doing business ranking?
Okay, I think the question is where do we expect FPIs to flow in? Because really it's not just targeted at the local players, it's also to drive FPIs into the country. So I think for the banks, really, because the banks are financial intermediaries, so you can't really exclude the banks. So for the banks, really, is more like a no-brainer. But for some of the banks, some of them have peaked, their valuations are overstretched. So I wouldn't say I'm going to choose all the banks